Staying in school, how one Utah high school is keeping more kids in class despite the rising dropout rate.
Teaching time. We'll show you how teachers battle a busy schedule and low funds to give your children the attention they need.
And shoplifting spree. As Christmas sales rise, so do the numbers of shoplifters. We'll tell you what's on their wish list this year. I'm Janae Anderson.
And I'm Lydia DeFranchi. It's Tuesday, December 6th, and in Utah, it's 12 o'clock.
From KBYU and the BYU Department of Communications. This is the award-winning 11 News at noon.
Many high school students in Utah are having a hard time staying in school in this tough economy. They feel they need to drop out to contribute to the family income. 11 News reporter Alfredo Carrera went to Provo High School to investigate. Alfredo, how is Provo trying to help their students stay in school?
Provo High School's officials say their students do better when they feel they connect with professional adults, and the programs they're running are helping the students and the teachers make those connections.
Alexi Arias is a senior student at Provo High School who came from Peru 13 years ago. Alexis says he likes going to school to prepare for his future, but when the economic recession started, he felt an obligation to help provide for his family.
I took some time cleaning with my mom's around some buildings because my dad had no job. And he still doesn't have a job yet, and it's been a year and a half now. But at that time, I was just helping around.
And Alexis' family isn't alone. The National Census Bureau shows the Latin American community has a higher poverty rate than other minority groups. Provo High School's assistant principal says that when her students are struggling at home, they also struggle in the classroom.
The biggest predictor is poverty. And of course, in this economy, we have more and more people struggling with income, and their priority is survival.
Quisenberry says a lack of positive role models in the Latino community is also an issue. About a third of the students in this school are Hispanic, but only 1% of their faculty and staff are from the same ethnic group. She says this is a challenge since many of the students find it difficult to identify themselves with professional adults.
When the students connect with an adult, it makes a huge difference. So whether it's Gear Up or all the different programs that we have, different adults connect with the students, and that makes a huge difference.
Provo High School is now running several programs like Teens Act and Latinos in Action that teachers say are helping make those connections. Quisenberry says the biggest satisfaction comes in helping students like Alexi accomplish new goals like applying for college.
Provo High School officials also say they are seeing their dropout rates go down, but they're looking for better ways to fight this issue. Live in the newsroom, Alfredo Carrera, 11 News.
Thanks, Alfredo.
Attention parents, Utah teachers say they struggle to spend one-on-one time with your child. 11 News reporter Sarah Tarini tells us how one program is helping 2 teachers combat large class sizes.
Bundles of coats and backpacks line the back walls of Miss Draper's and Miss Steele's classes. Every chair in their classroom is full.
I started out the year with 27, and I've had a couple move.
The Utah State Department of Education says Utah has the largest classes in the nation, sometimes doubling the national average.
Well, Utah is unique because we have such a large school children population. So it's really hard to compare us to other states.
But Orm's Westmore Elementary receives extra funding through a federal program because of the low average income of the neighborhood. Title I's main focus is to get students on the same reading level, and the biggest challenge comes from the number of students who are not native English speakers. So, through this program, the school can hire aides a few hours a week to help teachers pinpoint the problems.
To be able to spend more one-on-one time with the kids, we get to see where there are gaps for each individual student.
While Westmore Elementary is a Title I school, the teachers still have to provide some materials for their students, like crayons and books. The Utah Department of Education says the state of the economy makes for budget cuts in education, and it would cost the state millions of dollars to cut down class sizes.
So the research has suggested that class sizes, 15 to 18 or so, are very beneficial to students.
The teachers that work every day with the students say more funding and support would be nice. But at the end of the day, teachers say students are the most important.
It's hard. I've definitely I have spent a lot of money on my classroom, but it's an investment too.
In Orem, Sarah Tarini, 11 News.
Teachers say another support system is the parents at home, and they advise parents to read with their children at least 20 minutes a night. It's been 2 years since Susan Powell disappeared, and friends and family are gathering to send the message they're not giving up hope. They're honoring Susan by collecting donations for the Christmas Box House charity. Susan's parents say police are actively working on the case, and Josh Powell is still the only named person of interest.
Curtis Algiers' attorneys are now telling the Utah Supreme Court that the judge in the capital murder case is biased. Attorneys are insisting that they remove 3rd District Judge Paul Mon for being unable to make a fair decision because of Algiers' rude outbursts in court. Algiers is charged with the murder of his corrections officer in 2007, and his trial is still scheduled for June. Experts say retailers are likely to lose more than $100 billion due to shoplifters in this year alone. 11 News reporter Alexis Flake shows us the surprising product that's most likely to leave their stores unpaid for this holiday season.
Christmas time means more sales for most businesses, but studies show this time of year also lends itself to something else, more shoplifting.
This month and last month is a time for parties, gifts, and all sorts of things, and so you'll see people stealing more items for Christmas.
Experts say 1 in 11 shoppers is likely to slide something into their pocket, and where you can find these shoplifters is unexpected: the grocery store.
The stolen products at the top of the list include replacement razor blades, electric toothbrushes, Axe deodorant, and number 1, filet mignon.
That's right, people steal filet mignon and other luxury meats more often than any other merchandise. Other products in the top 10 include electronics, Ralph Lauren clothing, Let's Rock Elmo, Chanel No. 5 perfume, and Nike running shoes. The U.S. Department of Justice says grocery stores are the most popular retail setting for theft, and police say stores should increase staff and surveillance this time of year.
Have people in key locations in your stores. Having them move around can be a very effective tool in keeping people from stealing things.
In Provo, Alexis Flake, 11 News.
Police recommend shoppers keep valuables in hand and out of carts at supermarkets and other retail stores to keep them away from sticky fingers.
Still to come on 11 News at noon, healthy alternative. Before you head to the store for a bottle of juice, hear how you can make sure that what you drink will do your body good.
And mail curtail, why it soon may take even longer for your bills and birthday cards to arrive, even if they don't have very far to travel. We'll be right back.
Students are leaving the Marriott Center with a reminder of what integrity really is. Elder Tad Arcalister spoke to students about maintaining their integrity and evaluating what it's truly worth.
Each of us might appropriately ask, does our integrity, our honor have a purchase price? A dime, $1,000, the approval of our peers, some physical pleasure or temporary recognition? Is there some point at which our integrity can be purchased? Or is it priceless, not for sale at any price?
This devotional will rebroadcast on BYU TV on December 18th at 8 a.m. and 4 p.m.
You might want to check the label before picking out a bottle of apple juice from the grocery store. 11 News reporter Ashley Moser shows us why some moms are using healthier alternatives to drink the fruit's juice.
It's that time of year again for the Smith family to thaw out their homemade apple juice. Once a year, the Smiths press over 1,000 apples to make a year's worth of juice, then freeze it. They say it's the only way they can enjoy the fruit.
In our homemade apple juice, you get so much more nutrition than you would off of something off of a grocery shelf.
Smith is amongst many young mothers who question the content of store-bought foods. The American Dietetic Association says that although bottled juice has added vitamin C, they are loaded with carbohydrates and organic forms of arsenic. Pediatricians are also on board with cutting back on giving your child the sugary drink.
If they want to drink juice, we usually recommend in our office that they take 4 to 6 ounces or less a day.
A bottle of apple juice has 49 grams of sugar. That's around 1/4 of a cup, which is more than half of the recommended sugar intake per day.
Americans serve an average of 2 gallons of juice per year, and 28% of those consumers are children. But Smith's children are among the percent who drink healthier alternatives.
And it kind of smells funny, but once you get over that, it's really good.
And remember, an apple a day may keep the doctor away, but apple juice could be a different story. In Springville, Ashley Moser, 11 News.
To find out more about what pediatricians recommend for apple juice drinkers, click on Ashley's story on our website, 11news.byu.edu. Your first-class mail may arrive a day late if the proposal to close Provo's post office moves forward. About 80 workers will transfer to mail centers in Salt Lake if the Postal Regulatory Commission makes the change. Provo's mail would be distributed by offices in Salt Lake, Colorado, and Las Vegas, and the commission will make their final decision in January.
Even more woes for the Postal Service. Survivors commemorate 70 years since Pearl Harbor, and a thief's conscience gets the best of them. Here's your look at news from across the nation. If you're unhappy about the mail proposal in Provo, you're not alone. The U.S. Postal Service may have to deal with a number of angry customers if it approves a proposal to close 252 mail centers to cut costs. The post office says it's on the brink of bankruptcy, and the proposal would save around $2 billion. But it would cost 28,000 jobs if it gets approved. Survivors are preparing to commemorate the 70th anniversary of Pearl Harbor. They met in Hawaii to share stories and urge the nation to learn more about that day.
There's only about a half page in a history book about Pearl Harbor, and the half of that half page is a picture of the Arizona. So our youngsters don't understand what really happened.
And someone wants their name off the naughty list in Indiana. An anonymous person returned a stolen 16-foot Santa to the owner in a trash bag, along with a written apology. The display was back up in no time, spreading cheer in the neighborhood. The owner says he's just glad to have Santa back home for the holidays. And that's your look at news from across the nation. Janae?
We're glad Santa's back too. Thanks, Lydia. When 11 News at Noon returns, Keepless Team. With the sophomore leaving BYU, find out what the future looks like for the Cougars. And Fuzzy Carolers, we'll tell you what a group of students came up with to get more food donations and spread Christmas cheer.
And sunshine and clear skies may have you thinking it's warming up, but looks can be deceiving. We'll tell you how cold it's going to get when your 11 weather returns.
So cold outside. It doesn't even look warm. It's that cold.
Biting temperatures.
Well, I mean, I saw a girl running to school this morning, like up the stairs, and my lungs were hurting just walking. So it is a lot colder.
Just watching that.
Yeah, it's a little cold. Maybe not cold for everyone out there, but the cold temperatures are a lot to do with the sun. It's at a lower angle, and it's hard to warm the ground up in this time of year. It is very cold. You see across campus, students are wearing hats and bundling up to conserve the energy that their bodies are trying to heat up from this cold temperature. So right now it is about 26 degrees outside, so it's a little chilly, and we're going to stay about that, and we'll get up to about 30 degrees, and the wind speed is going to be around 11, so that'll pick up and die down throughout the day. So you can expect it to feel a little bit colder as we go throughout today, and those cold temperatures are going to last all the way into this evening because of the clear skies. So the clear skies will last all the way until sunset at 5 p.m. and a low of 12 degrees tonight. So it will be very chilly this evening. We do have an area of high pressure that is moving into the state that has been coming through the eastern part of the Pacific and covering Nevada, Utah. But it's not changing the temperature too much because it's just holding that cold air in. We should expect a storm to move in to Utah about Thursday, but the storm isn't going to have as much force as we thought it did. It's dying down because it's being blocked, so you can just expect a lot of high clouds moving throughout the state, but cold temperatures throughout the rest of the week. And cold temperatures today, we have Logan at 20, and they're going to get all the way to 0 this evening. Cedar City is going to get into the negatives, 32 today, but -4 tonight, and even St. George is experiencing the cold today at 40 degrees. And southern Utah throughout the next 5 days will warm up a little bit, hitting 50 degrees on Thursday and 50s into the weekend. Still cool temperatures at night. And northern Utah, again today, is going to be cold, and that area of high pressure that is moving in is bringing warmer air. But again, it's just going to lock in the colder temperatures, 30s into the rest of the week, but those cold temperatures will last, and also it's going to block in a lot of the haze, so we can expect some smog and some air pollution on Thursday and Friday. So.
Okay, we're just gonna have to bundle up.
All right, thanks, Jake. So, big news on campus, no more Jake Heaps.
Yeah, and we're all just wondering, Kelsey, where is he going?
Well, Lydia, that's one question that will remain on everyone's mind for at least one more day. Next on sports, without Heaps, the QB has decided to leave BYU. We'll tell you what led him to Provo and what pushed him to go. And baseball immortality, one of baseball's best was elected into the Hall of Fame a year too late. Jake Heaps is leaving BYU for the unknown. The sophomore at BYU has decided to transfer after being benched for what was supposed to be his shining season. Heaps was named the #1 high school recruit by Scout.com in 2010 after leading his high school to 3 state championships and having a 40-2 record. He was highly recruited by top schools like Oklahoma, Florida State, and USC, but Heaps chose to come to the quarterback school. During his first season, he set every freshman record, including those for passing yards, touchdowns, and wins. He became the first true freshman at BYU to lead the team to a victory in a bowl game and was named the MVP of the New Mexico Bowl. Expectations for Heaps coming into BYU were high and pressure was on. In an interview with KFan Radio after the BYU vs. Idaho State game, offensive coordinator Brandon Doman commented on Heaps' high expectations.
He was so heavily recruited coming in. The expectations were so high that it put him on a pedestal real quick, even in our locker room. He was too young to be on that big of a pedestal, and it was too hard to manage. I love the kid, and I've invested my life and soul into this kid, and I want him to succeed. And it'd be a darn shame if Jake ever chose to leave this school, because I think he's got a bright future and a great opportunity.
But Heaps didn't live up to those expectations, and so he transfers. Heaps will no longer be practicing with the team and will not play in the December 30th Armed Forces Bowl. So what's next? 11 Sports reporter Rebecca Woen takes a look at the future quarterbacks of BYU.
Well, Kelsey, now that Jake Heaps has left, Riley Nelson will officially lead the team as the starting quarterback, and James Lark will take over Heaps' position as the backup quarterback for this year's bowl game.
But where does this leave the team for next year? With top recruit Taysom Hill transferring to BYU from Stanford, there may be more quarterback controversy in the years to come. Coach Mendenhall says Hill has a lot to bring to the team. He says he's excited that Taysom has decided to come to BYU and that he's a fantastic football player and an outstanding individual. The future of the Heapsless team is undetermined, but still bright as BYU continues to bring in top quarterback recruits. Tanner Mangum from the class of 2012 and a top recruit from Idaho will also join the team after his 2-year mission.
So we'll just have to wait and see what happens during the next couple of years. Back to you, Kelsey.
Cooperstown came calling for Chicago Cubs legend Ron Santo. The Veterans Committee elected Santo nearly a year to the day after he died, hoping for this very honor. The former third baseman was a 9-time All-Star who hit 342 home runs and won 5 Gold Gloves before moving into the Cubs broadcast booth for 2 decades. Santo will be inducted into the Cooperstown on July 22nd, with any players elected by members of the Baseball Writers Association of America on January 9th.
So goodbye to Jake Heaps.
Yes, he's gone.
Sometimes I kind of wonder if he was just kind of upset about being upstaged by Riley Nelson's hair.
I don't know if it had anything to do with his hair, but we do know that he's trying to pursue greater opportunities for he and his family, but he hasn't announced where he's going yet, so he'll still be on BYU campus to finish out this semester.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Kelsey.
Thanks, Kelsey. So to come on 11 News at noon, caroling for food. This group of hunger savers will introduce you to their furry friends. We'll tell you all about it when we come back.
A group of local carolers is busy at work collecting canned foods for the Utah Food Bank. But what makes them so successful? 11 News reporter Lizzie Early introduces us to their furry friends.
When carolers and llamas come together to collect cans for the Utah Food Bank, it's called Carolama. This group of volunteers goes door to door and puts on concerts to help beat Utah hunger. But why llamas?
Because I think everyone loves them, but they have no idea why.
Carolama began in 2004 on what members say was a crazy idea. But after one season of toting these tall animals around, they realized it made a difference.
As they came out and they were like, oh, sure, we'll donate food. And it was actually producing a lot more than just caroling on our own.
Every December, the group borrows the llamas from the Hare Krishna temple in Spanish Fork, and they travel with the group as far as Salt Lake City.
These llamas may not sing along, but they do one thing quite well: attract a lot of attention.
The llamas are just crazy in every way. You open the door, they're funny shaped, they look like camels, and they look like some weird hybrid creature that no one really understands.
We just get crazy responses every place we go. It's people like, whoa, llamas, can we get a picture? You know, and they're in their PJs, you know, like little kids are about to go to bed, so it's really cute. It's really fun.
Carolama has raised over 5,000 pounds of food since 2004, and they can't wait to tally up this year's totals. In Provo, Lizzie Early, 11 News.
Looks like that llama wasn't too happy about that.
I don't. No, I was just going to say that I had a llama, like, growing up. Like, his name was Tony.
Tony the llama.
Caroling?
No, he had a lot of attitude like that last one.
So you had a sassy
llamas
llama.
aren't very
Yes,
nice.
very
I would be afraid of him spitting.
Yeah,
He
I've been
spit
spit
all the
upon,
time.
and it was not fun. Well, that's 11 News at noon for Tuesday, December 6th.
You can join us anytime on our website, 11news.byu.edu.
Thanks for watching, and have a great afternoon.